more on the International Women's Day from a lawyer and human rights activist, Evon Idahosa. Thanks for joining us on The Wall today.
Thank you for having me.
So what is the significance of celebrating International Women's Day?
It's really a day that we can acknowledge, and celebrate the progress that's actually already been made to advance the plight and the causes of women. But it's also a day that we can really highlight some of the inequities that allow for the proliferation of violence against women and discrimination against women. And so today is really a call to action to say that, yes, we can celebrate what's already been done, but there's certainly a lot more that needs to happen.
Now, let me share with you the thoughts of an Indian tennis star, Sania Mirza. She says, and I quote, "I don't think I agree with the concept of Women's Day or any day for that matter. We will never live in an equal world if we need an actual day to feel special and appreciated." Is there any truth to what she's saying?
Absolutely. The fact that the entire world stops to celebrate one day is certainly not enough, because the reality is that 365 days of the year, women are being brutalized. We know that one out of every three women has had either physical or sexual assault written to her life story. Every single day, 37,000 child brides are married off. And so there's discrimination. We still can't get the gender equality bill passed in Nigeria. And so there's certainly a lot more work to be done. So I absolutely agree with that.
So what issues should we be highlighting today as we celebrate women?
It's significant that we pause to applaud the efforts of women and men who are at the front lines, who are fighting, for the rights of women. But the reality is that if we bring it down to Nigeria, there's certainly a lot more work that needs to be done. Sex trafficking of women and girls is a major issue, particularly in my home state of Edo State. We know that marital violence is still an issue. Child sex abuse. One out of every 4 girls in Nigeria is sexually abused and raped. Our maternal mortality rate is among the highest in the world. Girl child education, the same. And so I think, certainly there's a lot that needs to be done, and we can applaud the work of activists. But the reality is that no society can advance itself when it leaves half its population behind.
Now, finally, Yvonne, the Me Too and Time's Up movement, they're rapidly gaining ground abroad. But here in Nigeria, victims of sexual abuse are still afraid and sometimes ashamed to speak up. How can we encourage victims to speak up and get justice?
The truth is that here in Nigeria, our society is one that not just, that actually promotes silence on the issue of violence. But society has to get to the point where we start to actually reverse the shame and the stigma. Women and girls have to be the ones that start to amplify their own voices through campaigns, through advocacy efforts that really highlight the fact that the shame and stigma should be on the person who has perpetuated that assault. But lastly, I think it's important that we address the laws, particularly in Nigeria, that promote violence against women. There's still, the penal code, for example, still allows for corrective beating of your wife. We know that men tend to rape in Nigeria with impunity. And so there's certainly a lot that needs to be done, but I think it starts with women and girls taking their rightful place and saying enough is absolutely enough.
Evon Idahosa, thanks for joining us on The Wall today.
Thank you for having me.